This week on Overdrive, we continue the masterclass series with the Flow CSR specialist, Nicole Campbell. Learn about the laws of football and see the exciting recap of round 2. All this and more coming up on the FCC Highlights Show.
Welcome to Overdrive, your weekly highlight show which delivers the very best action from the Flow Champions Cup into your living room. Second round action was fascinating, with winners of the first round drawn together with the top 6 teams in the Premier League. There was non-stop drama and goals galore. Here's a recap.
Round 2 was designed to ramp up the excitement. The 10 survivors of the first round were matched with the top 6 teams in the Premier League, and the winners would qualify for next week's quarterfinals. The smaller teams had to step up or ship out. There were a bunch of upsets waiting to happen. The quality of play and the quality and number of goals improved tremendously. Spectators were thoroughly entertained. All 8 games were lively, but some were standouts. It was a repeat of the last final where former champions Boys Town were up against defending champions Tivoli Gardens, and the game produced great football and 6 fantastic goals. TG were in no mood for neighbourly love. Black Stars pumped in 7 goals against hapless Logwood in the first round. But they met their match in Premier League outfit Sporting Central, who gave them a sound beating. 7 goals were scored in this game as well, but this time 6 went in past the Black Star goalkeeper. It must have been a long drive home. Barbican barely got by exchange 3-2 on penalties in the first round, and now they were face to face with the St. Catherine's best, Portmore United. The gap between the two was obvious from the start. Portmore toyed with the Kingstonians, and when the dust was settled, the visitors were forced to remove the ball from their net on 5 occasions. In another All-Premier League clash, Arnott Gardens hosted Humble Lion of Clarendon. The Junglists were ready for this. They tamed the Lions and mercilessly eliminated them one by one. They got 4 shots in without reply. A football beatdown of the highest order. National striker Jermaine Tuffy Anderson and his Waterhouse crew were licking their chops when Portmore United arrived at Jerusalem. Firehouse had good reason to salivate. They chewed into the visitors from St. Thomas. When the dust was settled, 8 goals were scored. Portmore conceded 7 with 1 consolation on the books. It was a massive reality check. Clearly, the second round produced action galore. Special mention to Axum of St. Mary, who are the only parish team left in the competition after they eliminated Reggae Youths.
The 8 winners from those games are now matched up in the quarterfinals after a draw. Here are the mouth-watering games that you can enjoy next week. On Wednesday, October 2nd, Portmore play Harbourview at Ferdinand Park, and Axum take on Arnott Gardens at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex. On Thursday, October 3rd, Waterhouse FC travels to Juicy Patties Park to challenge Sporting Central, and defending champions Tivoli are in the second city facing Montego Bay United at the Catherine Hall Complex. More action coming up right after this break.
You're watching the Flow Champions Cup highlight show Overdrive. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FlowJamaica, or follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/GoWithFlowJA using hashtag Overdrive on Flow TV. We'll be right back.
I can't hear you, no, man. I have to try to get some signal. We are no party.
You have 1 minute remaining on this call.
Don't struggle. Get the best call rates and a clear connection at home with your Flow landline. Pay only $2.99 to call any Digicel or Line mobiles, 95 cents per minute to call landlines, as low as 74 cents per minute to call overseas. And all Flow-to-Flow calls are free. Any network, any number, anywhere. Nobody beats Flow. Flow. Watch, talk, click.
My Business Observer really matters. It keeps me up to date with news stories, the stock market, and the economy. And I can also keep my eye on my competitors.
Subscribe today.
What would I do without my study center?
North Coast to the South Coast.
At the end of the week, I look forward to the Sunday Observer in Wagwan.
The Move It Lock.
My Sunday Finance gives me a roundup of corporate, local, regional, and international news that matter.
Every day matters. Subscribe today by going to JamaicaObserver.com or calling our nearest office.
Welcome back to the FCC Highlight Show Overdrive. Brought to you by Flow Prepaid, CBM TV, the Jamaica Observer, KLAS ESPN Sports, and Locker Room Sports.
Welcome back to Overdrive. We continue with the Flow ESPN Masterclass with Nicole Campbell and see how Flow is making a difference for teams in the competition.
Switch on, now I'm a defender.
Well, youth development is a very important aspect of our corporate social responsibility program. So you will see that coming out in a lot of the activities that we do. You know, it's targeted towards youth development. So for example, education, we have a program in schools where we give complimentary internet and cable to enhance teaching and learning environment. For sports, this is a new model that we are applying, you know. We want to ensure that there's some legacy left behind. There's something for the players, that this is not something that we've started today and discontinue tomorrow. This is something that we will continue to build on. So players, coaches, goalkeepers can benefit for years to come.
Well, I feel elated about this masterclass. It's a wonderful feeling knowing that the Flow come on board to assist this competition.
I think it's a good thing for football in Jamaica. You know? The more time we get to develop the players, the better it is for JFF and the country and the whole. Trying to take the football forward, you know, we've been stagnant too long, so this is always a good thing.
Well, the responses, I can definitely say, have been overwhelming. You know, we started planning this clinic months ago when we approached ESPN, and they responded very well. And as soon as we sent out the email to coaches, you know, we got immediate confirmations. So I think that they can definitely attest to the benefits here today. So I think it went very well for us.
I think it is very important because anything to increase your knowledge as a coach and as players, I think I personally welcome it.
About everybody making the most of the opportunity, me learning from people on the island learning from me, and you know, I always say it's no use tomorrow morning thinking, oh, I wish I'd have asked that, or I wish I'd have done that. This is the chance for us all to to interact face to face.
Well, nice, you know, I enjoy it, and Robbie Earl goal scorer in a World Cup, so we enjoy the session.
We're off the ball. So I think once we continue to show them that support, come out, support the games, any contributions whatsoever goes towards the growth and development of the sport. So I would say get on board.
This week on the Flow Tip, we look at Flow Prepaid Internet.
Flow's prepaid internet service lets you access the internet just when you need. You can buy packages for 1, 3, 7, and 14 days. Flow offers the best internet service in Jamaica with speeds up to 12 megabits per second. Call 1-888-303-3000 or visit your nearest Flow store to sign up for Flow's prepaid cable service today.
Of the 14 parish teams who started the competition, only one remains. Axum from St. Mary has bucked the trend and is getting ready to take on Arnett Gardens at the Tony Spalding Complex on Wednesday. Here to speak with us is the president of the Axum Football Club, Desmond Martin. Welcome, Desmond.
Yes, man, welcome.
First time in a national quarter-finals. What does this mean for you, your team, and the community?
Well, it means good to me, and it means good to the team, and it means good to the community, because we all in one camp working towards the future.
Did the club or the community or you yourself do anything different to prepare the team to reach this stage?
Well, what we do is train hard and keep ourselves together as one and unity.
Axum has reached the pinnacle of football in Jamaica. Any plans to return?
Yes. Well, at this present moment, we're looking forward to reach the Premier League next season.
So how important is the Flow Champions Cup in that push towards the Premier League? Will it give you confidence?
Yes, yes. very much, because the team is looking forward to win this competition at this present moment, and it will show us towards the Premier League.
You play one of the legendary clubs in Jamaica in your quarter-final matchup, Arnett Gardens. What are your thoughts on that match?
Well, Arnett Gardens is good, a good team, but we're not going to lay dead. We're going to come out and play football and play to win.
You're going to play to win, so can you expose some of your strategies? How best to beat Arnett?
No, we have our secret. We're not going to let that out.
All right. What are some of the keys to how Axum play as a team?
As I said, I'm not going to say it. We could just leave that until the day people will see players.
All right. How important would the prize money be, the winnings from the Flow Champions Cups? It's one of the richest prizes in football today. How important would that money be to the club?
Yes. Well, Axum don't have any money, so this would do us real good at this present moment, because the players don't get play. So, we would have to, they would glad to win this to get some funds.
Is there a hope that you can become more professional in your approach to football? Do you think now is the time to start paying your players, and that would probably produce better results?
The problem why we can't pay them is that we don't have a ground that we can collect. If we can collect, we can pay them. And we're trying to get a ground, but hope the president hear this one. He must push on to get a ground for us. Raymond Anderson, the president of St. Mary, that we can pay our players.
Thank you very much for joining us here on Overdrive, Desmond, and good luck next week. Know the Laws and an interview with Clyde Giardini. After this break, stay with us.
You're watching the Flow Champions Cup highlight show Overdrive. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Flow Jamaica, or follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/GoWithFlowJA using hashtag Overdrive on Flow TV. We'll be right back.
I can't hear you, man. I have to try get some signal. We are no party.
You have 1 minute remaining on this call.
Don't struggle. Get the best call rates and a clear connection at home with your Flow landline. Pay only $2.99 to call any Digicel or Line mobiles. 95 cents per minute to call landlines. As low as 74 cents per minute to call overseas. And all Flow-to-Flow calls are free. Any network, any number, anywhere. Nobody beats Flow. Flow. Watch, talk, click.
Wake up to the KLAS ESPN Sports FM 89 Mike and Mike Show. Pep up your afternoon with Orville Higgins on the sports desk. Then spend your evenings with Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless on ESPN's First Take. Our award-winning program, Scoreboard, with hosts Juliet Cuthbert, Stratton Palmer, and Garth Williams, is up next. Join the herd with Colin Coherd from ESPN Radio after Scoreboard. KLAS, now an affiliate of ESPN Radio.
Welcome back to the FCC Highlight Show Overdrive. Brought to you by Flow Prepaid, CVM TV, the Jamaica Observer, KLAS ESPN Sports, and Locker Room Sports.
Welcome back. This week in Know the Laws, former FIFA referee Dave Meikle continues to educate fans on the rules of the game.
As promised, this week we will continue to examine Law 11, and more specifically, gaining an advantage. What does gaining an advantage mean? Gaining an advantage means being in an offside position and playing a ball that rebounds or is deflected to him off the goalpost, the crossbar, or an opponent having been in an offside position.
In this example, the goal is disallowed as the player is gaining an advantage by being in an offside position. The player in maroon plays the ball that is rebounded from the goalkeeper whilst he was in an offside position.
Gaining an advantage also occurs when an attacker plays a ball that rebounds, deflected, or is played to him from a save from an opponent having been in an offside position. Let's look at this clip. It's also important to note that a player in an offside position receiving the ball from an opponent who deliberately plays the ball except from a deliberate save is not considered to have gained an advantage.
Throw in or corner kick.
Interesting Law 11. What did I tell you? Next week we'll look at handball, which is part of Law 12. I am Dave Meikle, reminding you to know the laws.
To give you an idea of what could happen in the quarterfinals next week, we've brought in noted football administrator and analyst Clyde Giuradini. Clyde, please, welcome to Overdrive.
Thank you.
How important is the Flow Champions Cup as part of the football calendar in Jamaica?
Very important. It's very important that all the parishes across the island have an opportunity to play against the Premier League teams, the parish teams, and teams who are up and coming. The smaller teams have a chance to pit their skills and their talent against the noted names. The larger teams have a chance to rotate their squad and to see just exactly where they are as against what their brand name tells them that they're ranked.
How important do you think the move from the end of the season towards the beginning of the season for the competition really is?
Usually when the All-Island Knockout Flow Champions Cup comes around, each team, each club, each parish gets a boost by us getting prepared and puts a lot more energy and competitive into it. To do it at the beginning of the season, everybody has to start earlier, get on their toes, get better prepared, and start the season on a high intensive competition island-wide. They can measure themselves, they can go for a title, they can get some prize money, and they can get their names on the chart, as Axum is doing this year.
Clyde, we've never had a parish champion winning the entire thing. What do we need to do to raise the level of the game in the parishes?
Well, to raise the level in the parishes, there has to be better preparation. Better preparation in terms of the management within the club, geared towards youth development competitions over a longer period of time, better coaches in that aspect, better competitiveness across all parishes participating, that people can come out of their corner, out of their community, out of their parish and go up against different challenges to see exactly where they are, not just how good they are in their little corner of the woods.
What about the challenges of the field itself? Don't they deserve a flat pitch?
Yes, well, that has to be a more long-term measure because changing a football field and a football stadium takes long-term development and investment. So that has to be important, but that comes in the long run.
How important is coaching in that regard?
Very important. Coaching is a human aspect that can go in immediately with good coaching, with coaching that is geared towards youth development, not mature experience over the long run, is vitally important and integral to development.
All right, I'm going to move on to something most analysts do not really enjoy. I'm going to ask you to make some predictions on the quarterfinal matchups. First up, Axum against Sarnet Gardens.
Axum has it all to do. They come in having two good initial preparation, looking for Arnett, who is a big name, and they have nothing to lose. They have everything to go for. All guns going for Axum. Arnett has to be careful. They don't let their guard down. They have drawn up the only parish team, and they think they might have won before the game is played. That is always dangerous.
What about Waterhouse against Sporting Central?
Waterhouse has been one of the farm teams predicted to be a big challenger for the tournament, and they come in very well, and Tuffy Anderson in good fettle. Sporting Central has 3 games at home in the knockout, also an opening game that they defeated Harbourview in the Premier League at Clarendon Park, their new venue. They are riding a high wave, and they're at home. They think they can get ahead. Waterhouse, if they wanted, could put them away.
What about the Tangerines of Tivoli against Mobay United?
Tivoli, the other farm team, at this time is the favorite in that they have played and defeated Montego Bay within the last 2 weeks in the Premier League. I think their opening game, just in the same run, should be favored going into the game.
I cannot let you leave here without asking you about a particular match. Portmore against Harbourview.
Portmore at home should be given some degree of credit. They are a good, stable team, but they haven't started the season so well. Harbourview, just a little bit better, not the best of starters along these two clubs, along with Boys Town. But on form at the moment, Harbourview has a little better performance in the first 3 games. Should be favoured, has 5 wins in this championship, along with Arnett, the most teams to win in the knockout and the All-Ireland knockout. Harbourview would be given the edge.
Clyde, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on Overdrive.
Thanks for having me.
To whet your appetite, here are some of the top goals scored so far. So that's it for another episode of Overdrive. You can catch a repeat of the show on Monday mornings at 8:30 a.m. right here on CVM TV. Also, further repeats will be on Flow 100 from Tuesday to Saturday. Check your Flow channel guide for the times. Go to the Flow Jamaica Facebook page for match fixtures, results and past episodes of the show. And you can join the conversation on Twitter. And remember, with Flow Cable your way, you can select a group of 10 channels to create your own lineup for just $950 plus GCT per month. Call or visit your nearest Flow store for details. We'll be back next Saturday, same time, same place, with the best of the quarterfinals of the Flow Champions Cup. See you there.